Hello, hello, everyone. We are live. I'm so sorry for the delay. I'm a couple minutes late. It's been loading this whole time. I've been seeing starting event for like the last 5 minutes. I was starting to worry. My little kitty is joining us today. She's right here in the corner. Her name is Chloe. Hi, everyone. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go in the chat. Ooh, already a load of messages in the chat. Good morning, Celine, Deb, Shaheen. Tunessa, Judith, Lisa. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Hiva and Betty. Celine says, kitty, kitty. Hello, everyone. Wow, we have a packed room today. Awesome. Anesta is here. Hello. This is going to be an awesome class about Goodnotes 5. We're going to go through all the app, all the functions. So we have a jam-packed class today. We're going to get started very soon here. Just going to give it a couple minutes because people are still joining us. I see it ticking up and up every second. So just going to leave a couple minutes for everyone to join us. And then we're going to start. Good morning, everyone. Over here in Canada, it's 10 a.m. Where are you? And what time is it where you are? Kathy says, good morning. Good morning. Awesome. Wow. It's really nice that there's so many of you here. It's going to be so much fun. So don't hesitate to use the chat as much as you like to interact, ask questions. It's going to make it more fun. If you have your iPad, like if you're not watching this on your iPad, you can get it and we might be able to test out the functions at the same time as I am. That would be fun. Judith says she's in the UK. It's 3 p.m. Maryland, 10 a.m. Just like me. Anesta is in Trinidad and Tobago. Awesome. Shaheen is in Kenya, Africa. It's 5 p.m. Wow. Seriously, there's a bunch of people from all over the UK, Africa. Celine says she's Canadian too, from Acadia. Awesome. Celine Robichaud. Yeah, the name gotta give it away. The French name. Very Canadian name. Awesome. We have 20 people with us right now. That's really, really cool. We had a few more people who registered, but some people only registered to get the replay. So not all of them are going to show up, but they're still going to be watching us later. If you're watching us later, hello, I see you. Eva is in West Virginia, USA. Awesome. Okay, my kitty just hopped into the window. She decided to be quiet for the live. I appreciate that. And we still have some people joining us, so going to talk a couple more minutes. Rhonda is in Connecticut, 10 a.m. Oh, I didn't know that Connecticut was in the same time zone. You learn some every day. And that's what we're here for, right? To learn a little. All right, so I'm just going to get my iPad here. It's my iPad. It's actually not an iPad Pro. Everyone thinks that you need an iPad Pro to do digital planning. You don't. You really don't. This is an iPad, I think, 5th generation, the rose gold. And I actually got this on secondhand from the Facebook Marketplace. And the whole thing cost me $320 Canadians with the Apple Pencil altogether. I don't have my cap on the Apple Pencil because I was I was charging it before this. Let me find my cap. There we are. I'm gonna get the cap. So you can get started for a lot cheaper than you think. If you don't have an iPad yet, you don't need the latest iPad Pro. You can just get something like this. I don't even have a lot of storage on there. I think it was the lowest amount of storage, but I bought the iCloud storage. It's like a couple bucks a month for like 100 gigabytes of storage. So you don't need a very, very expensive hardware to get started. Let's see. Celine says I currently use an iPad mini 5th generation. Awesome. This will be the same one as this, but the mini version, which actually would be pretty cool for planning. It's like having a little pocketbook, right? Lisa said that's awesome. Okay. Well, it's already 10:07. So I'm going to get started. We can't wait much longer. We have so much to cover, and I don't want to keep you for 2 hours either. All right, so let me just set up my thingy. I have just a few slides, but then we're going to go on the iPad. So let me All right, turn screen share on. Let me figure this out. Oh, okay, standard. I think that's the one. Okay. Come on now. You can do it. The live broadcast from the webinar takes a lot of bandwidth. And so sometimes it's a little bit, it takes a few seconds to, come on. If it doesn't load in a second, I think we're just going to do it with the small slides like this, because who has time for this? Well, it doesn't seem like it wants to load. So no matter, we're just going to do it like this. You can still see? Awesome. All right, so welcome to Digital Planning for Beginners. This is actually lesson 2. So a few of you are joining us for the first time, but actually this is a whole course of 4 different lessons. Olivia from ProjiPad taught the first lesson last week, which was about the basics. So, how to get stickers, how to put them on your iPad and upload them into Goodnotes and all that sort of things. So we're not covering that today, but if you want to watch that, all CHQ members have access to the replays, even free members. I'm actually going to pop the link to CHQ in the chat right now. All right, so I just popped this in the chat. You should be able to see. It says only $27 a month. That's a premium member, so to be able to get all the monthly stickers and goodies and stuff. But if you join us as a free member, you can still access the community, and that includes the replays. Awesome. All right, no more messages. So everyone is seeing this, I'm assuming. So this is lesson 2 about Goodnotes. And the next Saturday, I think Olivia is going to teach lesson 3, which is going to be about planning strategies, productivity methods. And then a week after that, I'm going to teach the last lesson, which is going to be about making pretty spreads and decorating and all that stuff. So yay, if you want to, if you want to join us for the next few lessons, we'd love to have you. This is a whole, package deal. So first of all, in this lesson, I'm going to very quickly cover why use Goodnotes and what makes it a good app to use for digital planning. And then we're going to go over the main menu. So before going into the actual app itself to work on the pages, there's the organization system, the folders, and I'm going to show you how that works. Then we're going to go into the navigation inside the app, so the basic navigation, how it works. And then we're going to cover the tools, everyone one at a time. We're not leaving any stones unturned. Pen eraser, highlighter, shape. Then we are going over the collections, lasso, and image tools. And finally, the text tool. The text tool is a big one because there are many different ways to use it. It can also be a little bit finicky. So I'm going to give you a few tips to use it to the best without just like, what is it doing? So I think that's going to be pretty useful. All right, I'm just checking the chat over there. If you see me in the little corner looking on the side, it's because I'm looking at my second monitor to the chat to see if everyone has questions, but it seems everyone's fine. So let's keep going. So for people who don't, oh no, in the corner here, I had a picture of my cat, but it's not loading. Oh no, we lost a picture of my cat. Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, my name is Vanessa, for those who don't know me, and I'm the owner and creator of the shop called The Digital Siren. I'm also on my day job a freelance illustrator, so I work from home illustrating children's books mostly, and also do greeting cards and things like that. And then I have my digital planning shop on Etsy that I do on the side. And I'm also a founding member of CHQ. So if you've not heard, CHQ is a membership. And it was created by Olivia from ProjiPad. And Olivia, she is an OG seller. She has a great shop called ProjiPad. She does so much in the planner community. And Last year, she actually had her own membership that she was running, and it was very popular from what I hear, but she was having trouble running it by herself. Making a large amount of stickers and product every single month, that is quite difficult for a single creator. So that's when she had the idea, wouldn't it be awesome if I teamed up with other creators and we can all pitch in? And so it gives the clients a bunch of stuff, like way more than they could ever need for the same price. So that's what she did. She reached out to other creators, Susan from Bellanora Studio, Veronica from Suc de Coco, Victoria has now joined us as of last month. She is now a guest creator. She is from Calypso Creative Planning. And I, Vanessa, from the Digital Siren. So together, we're able to create extremely large amount of stickers for you every single month. And the best of all, it's still the same price. Why aren't my images loading? I'm going to try to reload this. This is terrible. There we are. Okay, just seeing my kitty's gonna show up now. This is worth going back. See, this is my favorite picture ever. She was sleeping and she just went, why are you waking me up from? All right. So this is an example of the October catalog. So if you sign up right now, this is all that you're getting. All of my stuff, all of Veronica's stuff. That includes notebooks, several sticker sets. Here in the middle is Susan's stuff. She always includes the notebooks as well. Sometimes there's planners, a bunch of stickers. So basically it's 5 creators for the price of one. For $27 a month, you get all this stuff. It's kind of incredible. And then we also do events like this one, and there are freebies. There's a community. By teaming up together, we're really able to create basically the best community in the digital planning world, the most affordable, the most wonderful. And I don't feel shy at all saying that. Sometimes I feel shy about trying to market my own shop. I feel really shy, but I feel like this is so awesome that I need to tell people. Like, this is truly such an amazing deal that I'm like, everyone, you need to know about this. Gonna check the chat. Caroline says, best shop ever. Oh, I don't know which one you're talking about. I hope me. Love her work too much. You're so kind. Celine says, hoops. I imagine about the images not loading. Lisa says, cute kitty. I know, right? Her name is Chloe. She's awesome. All right. So now that we've talked about CHQ, let's just jump right into it. Why Goodnotes? So there are several reasons why Goodnotes is the best app to use to do your digital planning. First of all, it's quite simple. It's very easy to use. There are other apps that allow you to do more, like Zoom Notes and Note Shelf. For instance, they have more options, but that makes it even more complicated, right? For a beginner especially, but even for someone more advanced, having a simple app that's just really easy to use, that's really, really nice. It's very intuitive. Second point. So after I go over all the functions with you, you're going to see, it's kind of a steep learning curve at the beginning, but afterwards it's smooth sailing, very intuitive to use. It's quite a good app. And then also, it is the most commonly used in the digital planning world. And that is really going to help you out for many different reasons. First of all, if you have a problem, you can go to any community like the CHQ community. We have like a little forums thing there, or Facebook groups, anything like that. Ask a question, and chances are people know what you're talking about. I'm going to be able to help you because so many people are using it. If you have a question about some obscure app, you might not be able to find help for it. Let me just take a sip. But because most of the community is using Goodnotes, there's a large amount of help, and we stick tight together and we all help each other out. Sometimes, with the new update, I'm having trouble with this. Oh, try that. And it's just really helpful. And then also, because it is community use, shop owners create stickers and planners that are optimized for Goodnotes. For instance, I know that every stickers that I put on my shop, I created Goodnotes files for it. So this is Goodnotes native format. And so they're all pre-cropped and prepared, and you can just like drag and drop them in. It's like so easy. And most shops do this, honestly. Often they will give you the individual PNGs, which you can import it one by one. But that just takes such a long time, right? To import them one by one. Whereas a Goodnotes file, you don't have to do that. So when you use Goodnotes, you get to take advantage of, you know, what the sellers prepare for you. Rhonda says, "Can you skip a month?" You would have to ask Olivia for that. If you join as a free member, then you can send a support ticket from inside, and you can ask Olivia that question. I'm fairly certain it's possible to skip a month. Also, if you get it's $27 a month when you pay every month. However, if you get the yearly version, you get 3 months taking off the price, so you save $27 times 3. So if you want like an even better deal, you can do that. I also know that Olivia is working on I think a 3 months or a 6 months like package, because some people said buying for either 1 month or the whole year, it's kind of like a large gap. Is there any way that I can buy for like 6 months or something, like a smaller amount, and then some discount would be built into that? So I know that Olivia is looking into that. If you're interested, let us know so we know that, you know, there's interest in that. But also, we know some people sometimes email us and say, you know, right now it's not possible. I want to pause or cancel this membership, and I'm going to rejoin later when I can. You know, we understand that. We're all human, right? And things happen. And if you need to drop off 1 month, and, you know, we understand this. You can do that at any time. And if you want to rejoin later, we're going to be like, yay, welcome back. All right. So this is why using Goodnotes. And now I'm going to share my iPad because it's time to get into the good stuff, how to use Goodnotes. Lisa said, best collaboration ever. Awesome. Okay. So I just need to connect my iPad. It's just going to take a second. So I bought this app called Reflector 4. This is what Olivia used last week. I was like, oh my God, I need this. Because before that, no, you all see my code. Put that away. All right. So just going to join in with the code. So beforehand, what I was doing is I would create a Zoom meeting. And then I would join that Zoom meeting from my iPad, share my iPad screen. There we are. There we are. Awesome. So I would share my iPad screen from the Zoom meeting, and then I would put the Zoom window on my screen on my desktop computer and share my screen in the webinar. And then it was a whole setup. It was always stressing me out because I was like, if any one of those million steps fails, then the whole thing fails. So this was really stressful. Isn't that cool? There's a little iPad and everything, and you can see. So you're going to be able to see everything that I'm doing. The only thing is that you can't see when I'm pointing. So I'm sometimes going to be using the pointer projector. I don't know if you see what I just selected, and it allows me to like point to stuff. However, it's on the screen, right? I can't point to anything outside on the actual toolbar and things like that. So it stops, you know, right here. But we might find it useful to point at some stuff. We'll see. But for right now, let's go back to the menu, because the first thing that we need to go over is how to use this menu here. So when you get into Goodnotes, you see your Documents menu. I actually prepared some notes just to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I'm going to pop them on the side. Alrighty. Okay, so Caroline says, oh my God, so cute sticker set. And Salid said, so pretty. I'm going to show that more later, but I needed some stuff to show you during this webinar to show how to use. And it was like, how about I give you guys a sneak peek of basically the collection that I've prepared for the November catalog of CHQ. So this is coming out in 2 days. And I'm giving you all an exclusive sneak peek today. They're all hand painted in watercolor, so I really went all out. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to show you is this plus sign on the corner. So this is to create a new thing. It allows you to create a new folder, or you can import individual images, scan document, take photos. So whenever you select any one of those options, it's going to create a new thing that's going to appear in your documents here inside of Goodnotes. I want to show you the first option here, the notebook option. This is something that I hadn't realized that we could do. If you tap on the first thing here, the little thumbnail says cover, you can pick a cover. So let's pick the little waves thing, and then you select the next thumbnail, the paper, and you can pick, you know, with the selection of paper. They're all this beige color though. So if you tap the thing that says Goodnotes standard yellow paper, you can get some other stuff here. So you can change that yellow if you want. Personally, I prefer white. You can change the orientation. So let's do a landscape. And so you can call this something. Let's tap here. Let's do test and create. And it gave me some yellow paper. Maybe I hadn't selected, you know, maybe I hadn't confirmed that selection. But anyway, it creates a little, oh no, it's the new one, but it's the yellow paper. Oh well. So it just creates you a cover and a paper. It's pretty basic, you know. When you buy a notebook from a store, they will give you like hyperlinks, tabs, different types of papers, and they will be all cute and stuff. So it's nice to invest in a notebook. You can add new pages as much as you want, but there's no hyperlinks. So any more than like 20 pages and you're going to start getting lost in your notes. So it's not ideal. However, they do have these options to create a little notebook. So you can do that. I just wanted to show you the option. The next thing I want to show you, if you click on the plus again, you can create folders to organize your things. So here I wanted to show you in my organization here, I have a bunch of PDF files because I am addicted to webinars. So I go to webinars and they give us like guides and worksheets and stuff. And I follow along the webinar on my iPad. So I have all of these guides here. And I wanted to show you, I'm going to put them all in the folder that I created. So I created this folder. I can click on the star in the corner to star it if I want. That creates a favorite. So you can see at the bottom, very bottom, you have documents, search, shared, and favorites. So if I tap favorites, everything that I starred is going to appear on there. You can start documents or folders, and you can do it from inside the document as well. I'm going to show you how to do that later. So when you have a lot of stickers and things, it can be useful to star your favorites just for organization purpose. Now, I want to direct your attention to the top right. You see a little gear icon, and then next to it, you have a little check mark inside a circle. So we're going to tap on that check mark. And this brings you into the modification mode. So now you have new options: export, duplicate, move, and trash. And you can see a little circle has appeared on every one of your documents. So that's why you can select your documents. You can select more than one too. I'm going to select all of my PDF guides. There's quite a few of them. All right. And now that everything is selected, I'm going to go in my top bar and I'm going to tap move. And it's going to ask me to select a location. So I'm going to select my new folder, PDF Guides, and click Move. All right. And now it all organized everything. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to click Done now in the top right corner to undo it. And I'm going to go back into mode. I'm going to delete the little notebook that I created just to show you how to do it. tap on the notebook, and then I can tap the little trash can that's in red, and it deletes it. See, it's gone. After you're done, you have to click done to get out of this mode in order to actually be able to tap a document and enter the document. All right. So now that's it for the main menu. So we're going to go into the actual app inside. I'm just going to check the chat. Eva says, I thought it was a November sticker. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm giving you a little sneak peek. Lisa said, love them. Thank you, Lisa. You guys are so sweet. All righty. So I'm going to go into my digital siren, my planners. Okay, let's pick a planner to work with. Let's do this one. All right. So this is your inside over here inside the app. So at the top, you have some icons and you have the name of your document. Then you have different tabs for all the documents that you have opened. So right now I have these 3 sticker kits opened. There are multiple pages. You can swipe left to right to go through your document. Alrighty. And between tabs, between your different documents. My kitty is scratching on her scratchbooks in the background. All right, so, right. So the first thing that I need to show you in here, one of the most important things that you need to know in Goodnotes is that you have 2 modes. You have edit mode and navigation mode, okay? So I'm in edit mode right now. It's the icon on the top right. So you see the 3 little dots? Just to the left of that, you have a little pen icon. Right now, it's crossed out because I'm in edit mode. And if I tap it again, you see how that changed? My toolbar disappeared, basically showing to me. Sorry, my kitty is playing and she's very cute and distracting. So the change of color of the toolbar and the disappearance of all of your tools signifies that you can't use the tools anymore. But in this mode, the hyperlinks work, all right? So if I tap on a tab, for instance, October tab, if I tap on the home tab, see, now I can navigate using the hyperlinks of the planner, okay? I have a lot of questions from people on my Etsy shop. A lot of times they're like, I bought a planner and the hyperlinks are not working. And most of the time, the answer is because they were not in navigation mode. And the hyperlinks do not work when you're not in this mode. So let's tap on the pen icon again. When it's blue like this, you cannot use the hyperlinks when it's blue. And when it's white, then you can use them. Awesome. So you're going to have to switch between the 2 all of the time when you're working. I'm going to go back here. I think we're going to select like a paper like this to be able to show you all of the tools. I think it's a nice canvas to show you everything. Awesome. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes and also at the chat. Oh, Olivia is here, founder of CHQ. Hi, Olivia. How you doing? Awesome. Caroline says you can use the Lasso Tool to use the hyperlinks if you press down a little. Interesting. Felicia says, hi, hello, how you doing? Awesome. So yes, you can indeed use the Lasso Tool, but to me, I find it a little bit finicky and I prefer to switch back just because it's like a little bit easier to me, but you can also use it too. Olivia says she's late because she's still drawing her new sets for CHQ. Don't you worry, Olivia. You missed all of my intro earlier. I was talking behind your back and you missed all of it. Rhonda says, will we be able to access this later to take notes? I'm new here. and I've been using Goodnotes wrong, so I got discouraged and stopped planning. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Don't you worry. I hope with this course that you're going to be able to get a better understanding of Goodnotes, and that you're going to be inspired to get back to planning. And yes, there will be a replay. I know that I'm going pretty fast. There's a lot of different things that we're going to cover about every single one of the tools. There will be a replay. Every member of CHQ is going to be able to access that, even free members. So you can go and get the replay on there. It will take a couple days after this to compile and send it to everyone. So it won't be automatic, but you will be sent it. I think if you registered, you're also going to get an email with the replay. And then you can also just access it from the CHQ dashboard, I think. All right. So before we get into the actual tools and all of the functions, we're going to get into the navigation of this part of the app. So let me direct your attention to the top left of the top bar on the left. The first thing you see is an arrow pointing left. If you tap that, you're going back to the previous menu with all of your folders and organization. So we don't want to do that right now. The next icon you see is the 4 little squares, right? This is basically your pages menu. This allows you to get a top view of your whole document. So honestly, I never use this, but it might be useful in certain circumstances, I imagine. I never use this. You can favorite some pages. And here at the top, you can see thumbnails, favorite, outlines. So favorites. If you have favorite pages in a large document, you can favorite it. It's a bit hard to see, but there's like a little flag beside each page, and you can use that to favorite it. And then outlines is like a pre-made spread that you can do. I never use this either. It's like not that useful to me anyway. We want to be creative and stuff, so using like pre-made things is not necessarily the best. And on the right side, you can see select. So this is very similar to what we observed in the previous menu, right? You can select pages, and then you can do things like copy them, rotate them, and even trash them. But I really recommend that you don't delete pages inside of planners, simply because you might mess up the hyperlinks, okay? If you delete a page that has a link to it, the link will be broken forever. And even if you add a page there, the link is irretrievable. You can't get it back after you delete the page. So if you want to, for instance, change a layout. Yeah, hey, sweetie. I'll play with you later, sweetheart. So for instance, many planners like mine come with different layouts for your weekly pages, okay? If you want to change the default for one of the templates that are included, I always suggest to copy the template and paste it after the page that you want to replace, but not to delete the original page that you want to replace, because if you do that, you're deleting the hyperlink. So very, very important not to delete the pages. All right. So I'm going to click done to get out of this menu. This is mostly something that you're not going to have to use very much. Right next to this thumbnail, you have the little search thingy. So you can search things here, not very useful either. Then you have the favorites. Oh, it wrote something in there. So you have the favorites. So if you favorited any pages, then they will show up there. Actually, no, never mind. I got this wrong. If you want to favorite a page, you tap that and it would favorite it. So the next page you see is not favorited. Now I favorited it. So it's a way to favorite a page without having to go into the little thumbnails menu. The next one after that, you see the little box with an arrow pointing up. If you tap that, this is the share and export. So you can create a share link for your whole document. You can export a page, export all the document, or you can print. And then you have presentation mode, which is kind of what I'm using now, but you probably won't need any of these presenter mode things, options there. What is really helpful for you is the export all or export this page. Export this page is really useful if you want to post your finished spread to Instagram or something like that. So you can tap export this page, and you can export it as a PDF, an image, a Goodnotes file that keeps, all of the Goodnotes things, or a link. So the image is very, very useful for you guys. If you want to export your spread as an image, like a JPEG, so then you can post that to Instagram. If you tap export, it will prepare your document, and then you can export it to many different places. You can send it to yourself by airdrop, mail. You can even post it to Instagram or Facebook directly from here. So it's really, really useful when you want to share your spread, as many do. We have a lot of members who share their spreads in our community forums. It's always nice to see. So if you want to share, you can do that right here. Check the comments. Stacy says, this is my second time around too. It's easy to get discouraged, but these ladies are awesome and talented. Oh, thank you. Yes, I know there's a steep learning curve in the beginning, so it can get discouraging, but once you get past that hurdle, it's actually a lot easier to use than you might think. It's just kind of confusing at the beginning. Rhonda says, thank you. All right. Awesome. And we still have actually people joining us. I started presenting when we have 22 people, and now there's 25. So people are still joining us during the presentation. So I hope that none of you are lost or anything if you join midway. I'm going to try to make this like really, really clear. So we are finished with the icons on the left side. Now, all right, the next thing I wanted to cover, I went in my notes, I went really in order. So I'm really going through every single icon one at a time. So in the middle, you see the name of the document. And if you tap on it, you can see some information about the document, like the number of pages, the location on your Goodnotes organization. And you can also move it to a different folder directly from here, or change the name of the document. So I'm going to tap into the name box and the little X. And there we go. It allows me to delete this name and replace it with something else. I can tap again here to get my keyboard. There are different keyboard options, by the way, which we're going to go into that at the end when we go over the text tools. But if you don't like this huge keyboard, I'm not a fan myself of this enormous keyboard that gets in the way of your spread. There are other options for the text. But for right now, let's just do planner because I'm very original. Done. And tap elsewhere to get out. And now my document is renamed planner. So for instance, if you bought a notebook and from the main menu, you can duplicate, copy this notebook into many different notebooks. You can make 10 notebooks out, because it's a digital file, you can make as many as you like. And then you can give them different names so you know which one is which. So this is a reason that you would use this function. Eva says, all this time I've been sharing my spread by screenshot. Now I know. The difference, when you take a screenshot, you also get the actual UI, you get the toolbar and things like that, and then you have to like crop them out on the computer and things. So that's why that's not the best. It works, it works with the screenshot too, but exporting the page like this, you just don't have to deal with with that toolbar and all those icons and stuff like that. You have just the page, which is wonderful. Awesome. All right, so now we're going onto the right side. There's just a few icons over there. We already went over the navigation icon, so I'm not going to go over that one. But you have a little page icon with a plus on it. This is going to be really useful to you. This is to add a page, okay? So you can use the current template. This is basically going to copy the current page that you're on, or you can add any other sort of paper from that. Okay, you have different templates and you can add more templates from this. You can also under the page templates, you see more from templates, image, scan documents, photo. So you could even, if you wanted, actually, let me do it. Take photo. Take a photo. Use photo. It's going to import it as a page. As you can imagine, this is actually not too useful. Most of the time, actually, most of the time you're going to want to do current template. And you can decide if you want to add it before, after the current page, or as the last page of the whole document. I usually do after. This is up to you. And then usually what you're going to want to do is add another page of the current template. You know, that's more useful because it's going to fit with the planner that you're using. But you can also do things like this if you want. That's an option. And it might even be useful in some situation. Who knows? All right. The last thing that we want to show you here in the very top bar is the 3 little dots, which gives you a few other options, including how to delete a page. So that's very timely because I'm going to delete this photo that I just added. But from here, you can also copy the page. So that's something that you can do if you want to add not just a template, but you want to copy everything that you've done, right? The text and stickers and everything that you've actually done to the page. If you do copy, it's going to copy all of this as well, not just a template. So that's something you can do. Rotate a page, add this page to outline. So you remember from the pages menu, from the thumbnails menu, the 4 little square on the top left, you can add your page to the outlines menu that was over there. If there's a layout that you really like and you want to be using this all the time and you don't want to be redoing it over and over again, you can save it as an outline in there. Change your template, you know, things like that. At the bottom, you also have some settings. Scrolling direction, that's when you swipe. So it makes a lot of sense for us to do the horizontal because it feels like flipping from a book. However, you can also do vertical. And some people sometimes, you know, they have the they have the vertical scrolling and it feels very uncomfortable. And they're like, how can I not do that? It's the 3 dots. So you go to 3 dots, you can change it to horizontal, and it just feels a lot more comfortable, doesn't it? For right now, we're going to do move to trash and trash to delete this page. Wow, I don't know why I was so zoomed in, but anyway. So now, as you can see, the page is gone. So we deleted this page. So yay, no more photo. As I said, I only recommend that you delete pages that you've added yourself. If you added it yourself, if it's a copy, you can delete it without problem. But if you delete any of the pages from an original planner, you might screw up your hyperlinks. So it's better not to do that. Okay, I just touched the chat. Everyone is okay in the chat. There's no question. Gonna take a sip. All right, so that's it for the navigation. And now we can get into the fun stuff, the actual tools to create a spread. Yay! Rhonda says, your notebook is so pretty. You are so kind, Rhonda. Thank you. That's my coffee and paper notebook, planner, actually. The yearly planner from the coffee and paper collection. And actually, not very many people bought this one. I don't know why. It's maybe like a little bit more neutral, and some people like, you know, a lot more color. Sometimes I like a good neutral because you can make bigger, bolder color choices in your actual spreads, where it won't clash with your planner. So when you have a neutral planner, you can actually be even more, you know, creative in your actual spreads, which is kind of nice. All right. So now we're going to go back to edit mode so that we can see all of the tools. So let's tap the little stylus again. And we're going to go one by one through these icons to show you every single one. So on the complete left side, you have a weird little square with an A and for the longest time, I never used it, but it's actually quite useful. It's a zoom tool. You can bring it up a bit more. So you see the blue rectangle that appear in the screen. This shows you the area that's being zoomed in. So you can do a pinch motion to make this bigger, to scroll, etc. So it zooms into a certain portion, and this allows you to do certain things more zoomed in. For instance, writing, maybe you want to be a bit more zoomed in order to write with precision, but you still want to see your spread in general, how it looks on the page. So that's very, very useful to do. After you tap on the zoom, automatically it selects the pen tool, which is the one right next to it. So you can start writing. However, this tool actually works with the first 4 tools. It works with the eraser, the highlighter. See, I'm still in the zoom. And it also works even with the shape. However, if you select anything else, you're going to go out of zoom mode. So it only works with the first 4: pen, eraser, highlighter, and shape. We're going to go through these one at a time. So here, if I wanted to write, hi, then, you can see how it looks on the page, but you can also do the precision thing. So that's pretty cool. Next icon is the eraser. Oh, just a second. That's why I have notes. It's in order to not forget anything. So let's just go out of this mode for a second. All right. So Lisa said it's not in the November. No, this notebook is something that I've done from before. And I try as much as possible not to offer planners and stickers that I already have in my shop to the CHQ members, because some of them have already bought them. So it would be kind of unfair if I give stuff to people that they already have. So I try not to do that as much as possible. Sometimes, I just don't have time to create new things, but as much as possible, I try to create exclusive things just for the CHQ members so that, no one else has these things. All right. So whenever you tap on a new icon, you have some options for that tool that appear on the right side. So for the pen, for instance, you can change the color. So you have some little color icons here. Usually you will have some colors already selected, but if you hold, you can change it manually. You can change whatever color you like. You have some presets that are already decided, but you can pick a custom color as well. So let's see. I tap here, custom. And here I can decide on whichever color I want. This is from the grid here. So you have 130 colors in this grid, but there are millions of colors in the world. So if you want more options, you can either enter the hex code in the little box. You see hex and then you see a number. A lot of sellers, they provide the hex codes for the color theme that they have for their planners. So you can pick the exact color that matches with the planner. Or you can also tap the little wheel here and pick a color. So how this works is if you tap on the little circle from the outer ring, you can move this around the ring to change the actual color. So let's see, we can do a blue. And then the circle from inside, this one here, is to change the tone of that color. So it's all still the same blue, but we can put more black in it, more white in it, or more gray. So we can do, for instance, this nice little blue. And you can add this to presets if you like. You don't have to. You can just pick this color like as a one-off thing, but you can add it to the preset by tapping the plus add to presets. And now this color is saved. Awesome. In this menu, you can also edit your preset. So if you tap this, you can add a preset by tapping the last icon with a little plus, or you can delete any of the presets that you already have. So let's say I don't want this yellow. I can hold this. No, sorry. Holding is for moving it around. To delete it, you have to tap it, and then you can tap remove color at the bottom. Boop, my yellow is gone. Goodbye, yellow. So here I'm going to tap the little done to go back to my preset, select the blue, and now I'm writing in blue. We can't actually see a whole lot. Let's pick like a pink. There we go. The next thing that you can change is the size of your brush. So you have 3 presets, a very thin one, a medium one, and a large one. However, if you tap and hold, you can change this more delicately. Whoop, sorry, I kind of went out here. You can change this more delicately. So your presets that you have is like the very smallest one possible, something in the middle, and then something that's big. But if you want something in between, you can. Lisa said, okay, thanks, saw it before. I couldn't remember where. Yeah, it's from my shop. I think it was from January last year. Oh, you'll buy it today. That's so sweet. Don't forget to use your 50% off coupon. And Celine said, lunchtime, gotta go. Bye-bye, bon appetit. Awesome. So this is it for the pen tool. The next that we have is the eraser, and that's pretty self-explanatory. There are less functions that you have for this. Obviously, you have no color or anything like that. You can just do small, medium, and large. And even if you hold these, you actually cannot, like I'm holding my my pencil right now on the preset, and you can't actually fine-tune those. You only have small, medium, or large. But usually it does the job well enough. You can just erase everything that you just done to clean up your page. It's pretty simple. The next thing is the highlighter. So this works very similarly to the pen tool. You can change the colors as well in the exact same way. So you can choose your color, and you can set presets and all of that. You can also change the size in the exact same way as well. The only difference is that it is semi-transparent. So let me show you what I mean. See how you can see the grid underneath? If we were doing this with the pen, it covers. It's completely opaque. Whereas the highlighter is not completely opaque. It's actually a multiplying sort of effect. So if you go over it again, you can see it's darker because it's kind of multiplying. So that's how it works. And that's really useful in order to highlight the text because you can still see underneath. So let's say I have, hi, I'm Vanessa. And you want to highlight this, you can draw it too. So here's what I'm doing. You don't have, if you do a single line, it will kind of make it prettier for you. Like it will straighten it out. You can also draw like this. However, you have to make it like one continuous line because as soon as you release the pencil, it creates a new line and it will use that multiply effect. So if you want to do like a single circle, all the same color, you have to make sure to not release your pencil when you're doing that. Let's erase everything. But that's pretty much it for the highlighter. It's a very simple tool. Oh, Victoria is here. Victoria from CHQ, one of our creators, and she popped the link to the planner from my shop. Thank you, Victoria. That's so sweet. Laura says, if you do not have the hex code, is there a feature to select a color already being used on the page? There is not a feature like that from Goodnotes directly. However, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an app, like a separate app that allows you to pick a color. It would be called something like Color Picker or Eyedropper. There is probably an app in the App Store that allows you to do that. However, it's not a built-in function from Goodnotes, but wouldn't that be awesome? You can suggest features to Goodnotes, you know, and that would be a good one. Because being able to just pick the color, you know, like using the eyedrop function that some apps have, like Photoshop, Procreate, you can like pick the color. that would be just wonderful. I actually have a Chrome extension that I use on my desktop that does something similar. It's called like an eyedrop Chrome extension, and allows me to eyedrop colors from internet website, things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's something similar that you can use on the iPad. Stacy said, I would love that. It's very aggravating that we can't do that. I use it in Affinity Designer a lot. Yes, that's the thing with Goodnotes being a very simple app. It's good that they're keeping it simple, right? Because it's easy to use. It's not bogged down with like a million functions. However, there are a few functions that would be really useful that they don't have because of this. Caroline says Goodnotes have a new update in November. Maybe they will have the eyedrop in. And she actually used the French word for this, pipette. Pipette is a little word for the eyedrop, which is very cute. Maybe they will. I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath, but maybe they will. We can always dream. However, I will look in the App Store later to see if they have the eyedrop thing. And if I find it, I will tell you all. Oh, Anne says, I use an app called Pixel. Pixel. All right, so look that up. An app called Pixel to pick the color. There's always a tool, you know, as long as when we have a problem, a lot of times we just like endure it. We're like, there's no solution for this. Chances are you're not the only one that has this problem, and someone out there has thought of the solution. It's really worth Googling it, because there will often be an app or a tool or something that fixes the exact problem that you have. So that's why I'm always Googling. All right. So moving on to the shape tool. So this is the next one. You can see it's an icon with a circle, a square, and a triangle. So this looks a lot like the pen tool, but it creates straight lines. But if you draw without releasing your pencil, you can create shapes, and it will like automatically pop them into a shape. You can do triangles. You can also do circles. So if you do a sort of circle, instead of being a straight line, it will understand that it's supposed to be a circle, and it will do you a solid, and and it will transform it into a circle. It's kind of difficult to get very precise. Like if you want to do a rectangle that's a very specific size, it's difficult to get it exact. Like see on the right side, you know, I got a bit of an angle. I didn't want to do that. It's difficult. But what I found is that you can actually modify the shapes, and that comes in handy. So let's say if I tap on that first square that I did, now I can drag this to modify it. So while it is hard to draw the exact rectangle that I need, just drawing a random square and then adjusting it, that's much easier to do, right? So yeah, that's my tip for this tool, definitely. The next tool that we have is the lasso, and you will be using the lasso all of the time. What you can do with it is select stuff. So I've selected this, and I can move it around. So you will always be doing this to change, you know, your stickers, put them in different places. If you hold anything that you've selected, you can also change things. So here, it's a shape, so you have more options than you have with like some of the other tools. Like for instance, if you're modifying, if you're using the lasso tool in an image, you don't have the option to recolor, for instance. But since this is a shape drawn in Goodnotes, you can recolor it if you like. Isn't that cool? And you can also cut, copy, delete, resize, take screenshot, add element. This adds it to your collection. I'm going to show you a little bit later what that is. And convert, which is to change its aspect entirely. Let's say we want to delete it. Delete. We're going to, you can select more than one thing too. See, I selected both of these. Delete. And let's say I wanted to select this. The cool thing is you don't have to select the whole thing either. If you select just a corner, it works too, actually. So that can save you time if you don't need to select the entire thing. I'm going to recolor this to like a brown, and then I'm going to copy and paste it. So I copied it, then I can tap anywhere and hold and tap paste. So now I have my second little box. Can do this as many times as you'd like. So you can see the combination of the shape tool and the lasso tool can be actually really powerful to create a layout very quickly. See, we just created some shapes right here. And okay, I'm going to change these to the same color. So I selected all of these color. See? So you can see that in just a few seconds here, we created some shapes that could be used as a base for a spread. Isn't that pretty cool? So that's something that you can do with Goodnotes. All right. I'm not used to talking this much, and my voice is already starting to break a little bit. Oh, also, it's already 11. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to hurry this along a little bit. We still have many tools to do. All right. I also wanted to demonstrate the lasso tool, how you would use it for using stickers. So that's why I had my stickers here. So this is the set for my new collection for CHQ that's going to come out in a couple days. And these are all like hand painted with little details, have these little wreaths and in these washies as well. I really love washies. So let's see. So what's cool with Goodnotes stickers that are in Goodnotes file like this, you don't have to import them one at a time. You can lasso them from a file like this. Let's say I want these 3. I'm lassoing them. I tap in, copy, then I go back, hold, paste. And I have my 3 washies. This is especially useful when you want to bring in some dates, okay? You don't have to import all the dates one at a time. You could bring it in as a group. And that saves a lot of time compared to using the individual PNGs. Also, they're brought in all at the same size. So you don't have to resize them. Oh, careful to make sure they're exactly the exact same size. Eva says, beautiful. Carolyn says, oh my God. Stacy says, love the colors. You guys are so sweet. I'm so happy to hear that, you know, you like this, this set. I've worked very hard on it because I wanted to create something really good for you. So thank you. Caroline says they fit perfectly the planner you're using. I know. It's all thought of. It's all on purpose. So this is how you would use the lasso tool to bring in some stickers when you have the stickers from a Goodnote files such as this. And it is just really, really easy to do. I'm just going to delete all of these just so like here, I'm using the lasso tool again. See? Select everything, tap in, delete. So it's also really useful for that. If you don't have to delete things one at a time, you can lasso stuff. Just make sure that you're not lassoing things that you don't want to. Like if I wanted to get this last box by accident, I can get more than one, you know? Oh, there's also something that I forgot to show you. In the edit mode, on the very top bar, right next to the little plus page sign that we covered earlier, you see 2 arrows, one pointing to the right, one pointing to the left. This is your undo redo, okay? So if I tap the undo, it undid what I just did. And I can redo it, you know, if I want, but I don't. Right? Just checking my notes here. All right, for the lasso, we're all done. It's a pretty simple tool, but you're going to be using it all the time. It's just so useful. The next thing we want to cover is the collection tool. So you can see this little sticker icon with a star on it. This is actually quite new. I think they added it this year. So it's a new function, and it's Goodnotes answer to stickers, basically. But we digital planners already have strategies for dealing with stickers, right? We have created Goodnotes files with all of our stickers to organize them. But for other people who don't have these strategies, they created this collections tool. So if you actually have to hold it to get this little menu here. And at the bottom, you have different collections. So see here, I think this is actually included with Goodnotes. So they give you like some very basic sticky notes. You can tap on one, so for it to appear in your file here on your page. It's a very basic sticky note, not even a shadow, but it's included. You have these little like basic shapes, and then they give you like some clip art and stuff. If you scroll this a little bit more, you can tap the plus to create a new collection. So this pops this menu here. You can name your collection. Let's see. Test. And then you can tap at the bottom, add photos or import from to add stickers into your collection. The problem with this is that you have to add them in one at a time. Oh, Eyelid just joined us. Hi, Eyelid. So if you tap import from, it's going to open your folders. Here, I already navigated to this folder where I have some of my sticky notes from my Darkest Star collection. So then you can, tap on one to import it, but you have to import it one at a time. You can't select more than one, which is kind of annoying. So you would have to tap on every single one. This isn't too bad if you have a sticker sheet with not too many stickers on them, but imagine you're doing a sheet that has dates and you have like 100 circles with dates on a single page. You would have to tap on every single one to put them into your collection. So it's a lot of upfront work, but after you're done, you can tap the create on the top right, and it creates this collection for you. So it's been added right here. You can see it's the dark sticky notes. It uses one of your stickers as a test, basically, as a thumbnail, sorry, to showcase the collection. So this, for instance, when the feature first came out, I created this collection with some of my cooking stickers just to test it out. And this isn't even all of my stickers in my cooking collection, but it was taking so much time. I've actually never used the collections after that, just because I find it just easier and quicker to use the Goodnotes files, which it does take quite a long time for shop creators to create the Goodnotes file. But for the end user, for you, it's easier to use. So the collections, if you create your collections, it's like you're taking on this setup time on you, whereas when you're using the Goodnotes files, the shop order is doing the work for you, basically. So it's up to you. After your collections are created, though, it is quite an easy way to import stickers. You can just go into your collection, boom, and import a bunch of stickers like this quite quickly. So yeah, it's just creating the collection that's kind of a pain. I want to show you a couple more things from here. So first of all, on the top right, you can see a square that have a line in the middle. If you tap this, it opens your collection screen as a split screen, which gives you just a little bit more space to see your stickers. You can get out of this by tapping little X. So this is something good to know. And then when you're on a collection, if you tap on the name of the collection, so here cooking at the top, you tap there, it opens the menu again to edit the collection. So you can delete stickers and you can also import more by tapping the import from. So even after you've created a collection, you can still continue to edit it. Like it's not done forever. So cancel here. And that's the collection tool. Oh, Celine is done eating. She's back. Hi, Celine. Caroline says, I think it takes a long time too. I only use this for stickers I need quick access to. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. If there are stickers that you find that you use all the time, like sticky notes or, stickers that you find yourself using like bread and butter every single day, every time, it would be worth it to create a collection so you have very quick access to it, because you do have to open your stickers. When you want stickers, you have to open them in another tab. That's the downside. So if there are some that you use all the time, creating a collection, you can access them in here within your file without having to go get that other file. So that's the one thing that's really a plus. Good point, Alan. All right. So the next thing that we need to cover is the image tool. So this is the next icon, the little mountain with the sun. And the image icon allows you to move stickers around and modify them. So you can do the same with the lasso tool, right? If I selected this with the lasso tool and clicked resize, I can resize it and also rotate it. However, the image tool is actually slightly more sensitive. So it allows you to resize and rotate with a little bit more precision. So it is actually worth using the image tool sometimes over the lasso tool. That's a little trick from me to you. A little secret. If you're having trouble, getting something just right, try the image tool instead of the lasso. With this, you can also squish and stretch stickers. Oh, just a second. Sorry about that. Ooh. Ooh. All right. So as I was saying, you can stretch and squish stickers. So what I was doing before, the rotation and also making it bigger and smaller, I was doing this using the little icon on the bottom right. So that little circle, I tap this, and that allows me to make it bigger and also rotate. But if you use the little icons, the rectangles on the top and on the right sides, this allows you to stretch or squish and change the shape. Right now I'm using the one from the top. So this is something that you can do as well. However, I do caution restraint on this. On the sticky note, it's not so bad. However, if you use it on stickers that are already drawn by artists, it trashes them, right? It's not meant to look this way. I sometimes see people do this a lot with the boxes. Let me show you an example. In this set, I don't think I've shown you this whole set. This is a functional set that's also included. So sticky notes, I have some boxes here, more boxes, more boxes. All right, so I'm going to take this one. Let's do the pumpkins. I think it's, no, the cats, I don't know. Okay, let's do the pumpkins. Copy. Paste. All right. So let's say you wanted to use this to use as a background for one of your shape boxes that we did, okay? So if you wanted to stretch it to fit this box, you can do this. However, the pumpkins are going to get squished. See? So you can do it, but don't overdo it because it's just going to basically ruin the art. I sometimes see spreads from people using my stickers, and they've like stretched them and it doesn't look anything like how I drew them. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it hurts. It hurts a little bit, you know. I'm sure no one else sees it, and everyone looks at the spread and is like, that's beautiful and everything, and it probably is, but like, oh, my art has been so squished. So I caution that you don't stretch it too much. That's why in a lot of these sets, the artists like me, we offer different sizes of boxes. Like this is a square. These are like long rectangles. This is here a long rectangle. So if you use a shape, a starting shape that is closer to your end result, you're going to need to do less stretching and it's going to look better at the end. All right. For the options that you have for this tool, because every tool has like some extra options for here, it allows you to basically go take photos from your camera roll. So here I had some screenshots that I took during a Skillshare class. You can also tap the little camera icon to take a picture. So that's something that you can do if you want to insert a photo in one of your spreads, right? Like you're doing a memory spread or something and you want to put in a photo of your cat that you took that day, you can do that here. Also, I wanted to show you something. Let's see, I insert this photo here. If you tap on it, you have some options that appear. You don't have too many options. If you tap add element, this is to add it to one of your collections. So you can do that. But I want to show you the crop. Okay. So if you tap this, this enters the crop menu. And by dragging the handles of the box, you can crop this however you like. So let's say you want to make it a bit more square too. Okay. When you're done, you tap done, and this crops your image. Okay. So I didn't want all of that black from the screenshot, so I can do this. I'm also going to show you another option from this menu, crop. At the bottom, you can see rectangle, but you also have freehand. Let's go into this freehand. This allows you to draw a selection. So let's say I do a heart. Done. And this creates a little sticker in the shape of what I drew. That can be, oh, what's going on here? Why did my code pop back in? I hope that hasn't been there for a long time. Sorry about that. All right. So this creates a little heart and thing. That's actually a really nice trick. Like you can take a photo of whatever you like, plants, the sky with clouds. Why is it doing that? Don't show that code. I'm fine. It's sorry. So you can take a photo of the clouds and then, you know, draw a little heart or whatever you like and create an instant little sticker that's really, really cute. That's a nice little trick. Let me check the chat. Oh, we have actually quite a few comments that I missed, so let's me. Olivia said that last week's webinar is now available in the members area on CHQ. Awesome. Thank you, Olivia. The replay from her class is now available. Victoria said sometimes when you pull in a sticker and resize it with the Lasso tool, it gets crooked. I've noticed that too. When you take several stickers from a Goodnotes files and paste them all at once, sometimes it comes in and it's like a little rotated, and it can be very difficult to put it back using the Lasso tool, but it's easier to put it back using the image tool. That's the trick. Victoria said, definitely agree with you on this. Pet peeve of mine when I see people overstretching my stickers. Yes, it's an artist pet peeve. JJ says, I'm probably guilty of stretching too much. Sometimes, like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I also don't want to shame anyone. You know, sometimes you need a shape. The artist hasn't provided you the shape that you need, but you can crop. And that's something that I suggest doing a lot more than the stretching. Let's see. Let me take this, the same one as before. Okay. So if I had to fill this little box here, and my shape is too tall, okay? Instead of stretching it and kind of overstretching the art, what I would do is go into the crop, right? And let's say thereabouts. A bit more. See? So now I can stretch it a little bit, but now it's not overstretched. So that's something that I recommend doing. Cropping instead of overstretching. Like anything more than 10 or 20% of stretching is going to look odd. So you really want to crop it first to get closer to the shape that you need. Celine says the freehand crop is very useful with PNGs with transparency. Awesome. All right. So that's it for the image tool, actually. And the last thing that I need to show you is the text. And there's quite a bit with the text. So let's get right into it. Stacy says, I love the crop idea. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're so sweet. Awesome. So, all right, I'm going to delete a few things here to make some space for the text. So this is the box with the T in it, okay? And when you tap it, you're going to have some options that appear on the side. So the first one is to pick your font. So right now, as a default, I have Arial rounded, but you can pick whatever font you like. I really like Avenir, actually. And you don't have to pick just the basic font either. You see on the side, there's a little blue circle with an arrow in it. If you tap this, you get all these options for the font. So that's something that you need to get into. You don't have to use just like the basic fonts. There are often more options that are really cool that you might want to get into. So let's pick that book oblique. Awesome. And then you can change the size as well. The next icon is for alignment. All right. So you have the line spacing, and then you also have, center, basic alignment stuff. You can also change the color of your text, of course. Let's pick like a salmon thing. You can also have a different text box style. I'm not going to go over this right now, but I am going to demonstrate this later because it can be used in digital planning to your advantage, definitely. All right, so for right now, let's not go into that. So after you've selected all the size and font and color that you like, Stacy says, this tool makes me want to pull my hair out. The text tool is very finicky. I'm going to show you a few tricks to deal with it a little bit better, but sometimes it's just very, very finicky. Sometimes you need to use your Apple Pencil. Sometimes you need to use your finger because you have a little bit better control with your finger. It is sometimes just a little bit frustrating, that tool. Every time I enter a new line of text, it goes back to the default and I have to change everything again. Oh, there is actually a trick for that. I'm going to show you, Stacy. Also, no way to save preset colors in this. That's not true, but that's also you're right in a way. You can't save more than one color. However, you can save defaults. So if you want to write, your whole spread in brown, you can pick a brown and save it as a default for this time. However, you can't have like multiple presets. Victoria says, okay, mind blown. I use text all the time and never knew that little arrow has more options. I didn't think that I was going to be able to teach Victoria anything. Victoria is kind of like an expert. Well, that's surprising. I'm I'm very happy. You can't add new fonts easily like in Procreate. Yeah, it's a bit more tricky. I just wish when we add a new color for the pen, it adds it for the text too. That would be so good. Caroline, we need to go and suggest it to Goodnotes, okay? When you add a color preset, oh goody. What happened? Oh, my screen just turned off, that's all. Ooh, I panicked for a second. I was like, oh my God, I lost my mirroring. But yes, wouldn't it be awesome if we had like universal presets? You know, you add a color preset, it's a document preset. So it's in all of your tools, in the text, in the pen, in the highlighter. That would be wonderful. Caroline, that's like the genius idea of the year right there. Goodnotes needs to listen to you. All right, so after you've selected how you want your text, you tap anywhere to create a little box like this. And you have to make the box a little bit bigger. I suggest using the finger for this instead of the pencil, because if you try to get to the little handle on the side, most of the time what will happen is that you end up drawing, okay? And with the text, you have an option to like draw your text and it transforms into fonts, which is usually very useful. But sometimes, you know, you just want to make your dang box bigger and you can't get the handle because it insists on drawing instead. That just drives me mad. So it's actually easier to do it with the finger. So I'm doing it with my finger right now. And there we go. The box is bigger and I still have my sanity intact. All right. The next thing that I want to show you is the keyboard options. So I alluded to this earlier. You can get the big keyboard, but there's more that you can do than just a big keyboard. Okay. So if you want the big keyboard, you can tap twice, double tap inside of your text box. This is also easier to do with the finger rather than the pencil, because if you try to double tap, it will often try to, you know, either bring up the options or draw a dot or things like that. So it's easier to go with the finger. Double tap, it brings up your keyboard. And here you can just, you know, write test, blah, blah, blah. See, I accidentally tapped just a little bit outside of my box, so it created a new box, a new test box, instead of using the one that I had before. And just as you know, people in the comments have been saying earlier, every time that you create a new text box, it reverts to your default, which here I had Arial rounded with a little bit bold, and it reverted to that automatically. That can be annoying. We're going to fix that a bit later. So on your keyboard, on the bottom on the right, there's a little keyboard icon. You tap this to bring your keyboard back. All right. So as I was saying, double tap for the large keyboard. However, I don't know if you've noticed, but this keyboard is a little bit in the way. It is a little bit in the way. It's big, but thankfully they have a mini keyboard that's really cool. So I'm going to try to go back into my original. There we go. All right. So if you do a single tap with your Apple Pencil into a text box, you have some options that appear: copy, delete, edit. Okay. Let's tap edit. Oh, it brought back my big keyboard. Too bad. Usually when you do that, it brings back your other keyboard options, but sometimes it's bugged out. So that's another thing that's finicky with the keyboard options. You can't always bring them back using the exact same things. But no matter, we can still go back to the other options from this view. You see the keyboard icon that we used earlier to dismiss this keyboard? If you hold, you have other options. So you have a split, which is going to create a split screen, which honestly isn't going to help us all that much because it's still going to cover all the screen. What I like to do is the floating. Okay, so let's select the floating. This creates a tiny little keyboard like this that is not in the way. I love this thing. It's so cute too. And you can also move this away. If you hold your pencil or your finger on the bottom of the keyboard, you can put it somewhere that it doesn't bother you. Okay. You also get the little menu in the middle. See that little pill-shaped thing? If you tap on the little keyboard, it takes it away. Usually when you tap into your text box and you click edit, that's what is brought up, this little pill thing. And then you can tap on the keyboard to get your floating keyboard. But if for some reason it's finicky for you and it keeps bringing up the big keyboard no matter what you do, you can do what I did to get the floating keyboard. That's what it's called. And isn't that just the cutest little thing? I love that thing. And let's just delete that stuff that we did before and type in, I'm Vanessa. How are you? You can also do return to go to another line, for instance. So now we're on another line. Hi again. All right. So yeah, that's it for the little keyboard. I'm going to take a sip and look at the chat. Stacy said, oh, yay. I don't know about what, but I'm happy that you're happy. Caroline says, when you write down, you can like when you draw the text, you can also get the mini keyboard. That's also a way to get it. Caroline says, I didn't know you could get the mini keyboard this way. I assume you mean from the big one. There's many ways to access it. By drawing, from the big keyboard. So at least you're not stuck in one option, right? You can bring back the other options. Also, last night, I was testing all of this one more time just to make sure that I wasn't telling you any bullshit. And I did a pinching motion to zoom in into the small keyboard. And it literally blew up the keyboard to become big again. So I was like, whoa, you're able to make the small keyboard big by pinching it? I was mind blown. However, I have not been able to replicate this since, because when I tried to do this, it just, you know, I'm pinching on top of the keyboard and it just catches the actual keys. So I have not been able to replicate this. I don't even know if it's a real function or if it was a fluke. You learn some every day. I'm not sure what happened with that, to be honest. Alrighty. You can take another sip and then we're going to move to the draw option. Okay. I was just looking at my notes to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. All right. So we're going to do another return to go to another line. So another thing that's possible here, if you don't want to do the keyboard, which fair enough, you don't have to do the keyboard. You can also write and it's going to adjust your text. So I can do, oh no, shoot. Edit. All right. Sorry. Sometimes the palm also screws up with it. So sometimes the palm will like go out of your text box, which is annoying. So you have to kind of write without tapping it, which is annoying. So I'm going to draw, hello, how are you? So you see, it's kind of funny. It takes a second. It stays like dumb text for a few seconds and then it transforms. But I have to say the recognition on that is pretty good. It is quite good. Like, even if my handwriting was terrible, it picked up pretty easily. Isn't it cool? See, so here, if there are any mistakes that are created, you can also tap on a word in particular. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to bring back my keyboard by tapping the keyboard into the little pill, because I was trying to bring back the keyboard, but it wouldn't. So you can always tap it in your little pill. And I'm going to go right here. See, I'm trying to select. Okay, there we are. I was trying to select right after the question mark. I'm going to add a space here. And then I'm going to fix this. Actually, this isn't. All right, perfect. So if it's not perfect like this, you can change, individual words. But usually the recognition, it is quite good on this. I also want to show you, if you draw over some text, you can select it like this. And that is really cool because you can change colors, or did it? Okay, it selected everything for some reason. Usually you're able to select just a specific thing. Why isn't it doing it? There we are. As I said, finicky sometimes. You can draw over a selection to select a particular section, like we did right here. So, okay, dismiss this. And you can also, if you tap on the little icon that says BIU, you can change the weight orientation on. So I could do like a bold underline like this without changing my font, right? So just this section is going to be like this. And this is really useful. If you want to create like, little sections that are just bold without having to change from the menu, then you can do that. And that's really, really cool. Okay, so there's a lot of comments, so let's just get. Caroline says, to do the pinching thing from the small keyboard to the big one, you need to put your finger to the small bar at the bottom. The small bar at the bottom, to me, it just helps me move it. But maybe if you put like your thumb on it and then the other one you swipe up, maybe that's what I did. Oh, Victoria said you can also grab the little bar and drag your mini keyboard to the bottom of the screen and it becomes the big keyboard. Let's try that. I'm going to bring back my mini keyboard. So I grab the keyboard and drag it to the bottom. See, to me, it just bounces back. It doesn't. Let's try that pinching thing. From the bar up. See, it doesn't. Oh, it disappeared. See, that stuff is very finicky. Like maybe it's on iPad Pro that works. Like I'm dragging it to the bottom and it's not doing it. And I'm also not able to do. Oh, it worked. I was able to do the pinching thing. However, there are easier ways to get the big keyboard because that is so finicky. And I do prefer the small keyboard anyway. So this isn't something that I would like actively try to get, but the more you know, because you never know the situation that you're going to be finding yourself in. Stacy said that she loved the draw over to select. That's my preferred way to select, because you can also like try it with like the pinching and stuff, and it's just a nightmare. The draw over is the easiest way to select. And then sometimes, as Victoria said, sometimes you do some things with your pencil. Sometimes you do it with your finger. It works better. I was trying to, like right now, I'm dragging the keyboard to the bottom with my finger, not with my pencil, and it doesn't do it. It just bounces off the bottom. It's possible that it's because I don't have an iPad Pro. That might be it. Jody said that worked. All right. So some of these options, super finicky, but the thing that's cool is that Goodnotes does give you many different ways of doing something. So if one doesn't work for you, you can try another way. Like with the keyboard, there are so many ways to get from the small keyboard to the big keyboard that if there's one that you can't reliably do, you can try one of the others. So you're not stuck forever. Victoria said you can double tap a word to select the whole word, or triple tap for the whole sentence. Yes. However, sometimes you want to select like 2 words, you know, so it's not always reliable. Like, let's say I want to select just the word cool. I can double tap to get cool, right? Or if I triple tap, I get the whole line. But what if I just wanted, isn't it cool? And I didn't want the whole line. Now, what we can do is use the little handles to reduce your selection. However, sometimes when you do that, it doesn't grab the handle, it draws in the box sometimes. So it thinks that you're trying to do the draw text instead of the select. So that's something that can be really finicky, but selecting, there's also several ways to select. I personally find that I really love the draw over select because it's instinctive, right? It's quite easy to do. But thank you, Victoria, for bringing that up. Double tap for a word, triple tap for the whole sentence. All right. Now, there's something else that I wanted to show here, saving a default. So let's say I really like this Avenir book oblique, and I want it to be my new default, okay? So you can tap the text icon from the toolbar and hold. Tap and hold. Then you can do save as default, right? Save as default. So now, if I create a new text box, oh, wow, it gave me like a hybrid. That's a bug. But so I just write hi, I'm going to create a new text box. See, now it's the big one. It doesn't know what it wants to do. So I just created my name. Okay, so see how it's not doing the Arial rounded like this one? Earlier, when I created a new box, it reverted back to Arial rounded. But now, every text box that I do, this is my new default because I changed the default, okay? And I can, of course, change that as many times as I like, as needed. So if right now I opened a new document and I wanted to create a new default with a completely different text and color and everything for that new document, then I can. The thing is, though, you can't have like multiple presets. You have to set one default and then you override it over and over again. However, it doesn't take that long to go and get back your, especially since you have like your recent section. Also on the side, you can see there's like some letters that allows you to scroll faster. So if you have a font that starts with Z, then you can tap on the Z and it goes directly to the bottom. So it's quite easy to like scroll all the way back down using this. And you can easily, you know, change your color, change your size and everything back again and get back your default. However, if we did have some options to get like 5 to 10 presets, wouldn't that be wonderful? Betty says, I have Goodnotes, but mostly use it for storing sticker and I plan in Note Shelf. If I always say use the tool that you're most comfortable with, you know. If you're most comfortable in Note Shelf, then that's the one for you. Each app has some feature, the other does not. True. Your presentation has piqued my interest in trying Goodnotes for more. Yeah, Goodnotes does have some quite nice functions when you dig a little deeper. There's one more trick that I want to show you with the text tool that is really cool for creating like little text boxes. Awesome trick. Betty Ruth says, is there any way to see the first video you did? You mean Olivia's class from last week? It is available as a replay for CHQ members, even free members. So create an account. There should be a little ad in the chat right now. It says like become a premium member, $27. But if you click on there, you have the option to create a free account as well. You don't have to create a premium account. Free account, you can get in there and you can go into the community section, find the post where Olivia has posted the replay. Victoria says, yes, I change my default all the time as needed. So handy. Sometimes I go back to other pages, grab a default from there too. Oh, that's interesting. So if you have multiple pages opened, you can grab a default from another place. Interesting. Like you can, because when you hold it, save as default. So let's say I tap into my text block and then hold the text icon, save as default. Now my Arial rounded is saved as the new default, right? So you can, what it says basically is the default of the text box that you have selected at this moment. So if you go into an old document, select a text box and click save as default, it's going to save a default from an old document, from an old text box. So that's something that you can do that's very, very clever, Victoria. Awesome. So, wow, we've already been here almost 2 hours. I gotta wrap this up. We just have a couple more things and then we're all done. But aren't we having fun? I had meant this to be like an hour long, but we're having so much fun. I don't even care that it's running a little bit long. My voice is starting to go though. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to show you, and let me get back my Avenir because I actually don't really like Arial rounded all that much. So let me get my Avenir medium oblique. Let's do that. And let's get like a green, a nice little green. Awesome. So I'm going to create a new text box by tapping somewhere. Okay. I'm going to use my finger to make the box bigger because I have more control with this. Okay. Now, my little keyboard has popped, and I want to bring your attention to the bottom of the keyboard, right? Just to the, I always say right to say like right there, but when I want to say left, it's like right to the left, and that's confusing. I shouldn't be saying that. Just to the left. That's clear, isn't it? Just to the left of the space bar, there's a little microphone icon. Okay, and this is the voice to text function. And this is really, really cool. Now, in a previous webinar, I tried to demonstrate this feature, and I had just done a Goodnotes update this very morning. Not a Goodnotes update, an iOS update that very morning. And my voice function was not working anymore because of the update. I looked like a complete fool in that webinar because I had done my update and it had like retracted my permissions and everything, and the voice microphone thing was not working anymore, and I was trying to demonstrate it. But this time there's no update. I tested it this morning just to make sure that it hasn't retracted any permissions, and this should work. As soon as you tap the icon, it's going to start recording, and it's going to transform whatever you say into text. Then there's a little keyboard icon. When you tap that, it's going to go back, stop recording. Okay, so let's do that right now. Tap icon. And now it's recording everything I'm saying and transforming it into text. It's pretty cool. Now I'm going to get out of this mode. And there we are. So this mode is not very good at recognizing punctuation. However, for everything else, it's pretty good. It's really good. So as you can see, it's done a really good job on everything that I said. Even though I do have like a little French Canadian accent, it's pretty good at recognizing it. I do have to go back in and insert my punctuation though. because it didn't put me like any dots and anything like that. So I would have to go in and insert that, but it works fabulously, to be honest. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you is that text box option. So it's right next to the color. And you have some presets, but you can also change this to whatever you like. Let's say I'm going to write something first, and then we're going to choose an option. That's also something that you can do. So let's tap in. I'm going to record Monday. Okay, so now we have a box with Monday. And I'm going to tap the icon for the text box style and select this one. Okay, I'm going to go into advanced and change the color. Let's see. Let's do like a brown, like a light brown. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's go back. I like rounded corners personally, so I'm going to do like plus rounded corners. The maximum is 20. You can also add more padding. So the thing is going to be like larger. You can add a border. So here I add a border. The border is the same color, so but if you tap border color, you can change the color of the border. Now you can see that the border, it's the border that's getting bigger. I don't think I want a border though. I think this is nice like this. All right. So, and you also have the shadows options. Let me go back in. Shadow. No shadow or a shadow. It's pretty cool, right? All right. So now you have this little text box. You just put it right here. Okay. This looks like a little sticker. It's really good to do titles. Isn't that pretty cool? I like this. I use this all of the time to do like little titles and things. And you can change the fonts, of course. Because this is like a little sticker that's editable, right? So I'm going to get back my Avenir. Let's do the book oblique. So this is like creating a little sticker that you can go back in and change at any time. I love this. Caroline says, I wish we could save some boxes in the box style. Isn't there a way to do that? Because they have presets, right? If you hold, no. That's pretty funny. You know, that's not consistent because in the other tools, when you have presets, you can edit those presets, right? But here, your presets are like predetermined things that you can't actually change. It's kind of weird. But it doesn't take too long to change it. And you only have to do it one time because you can copy this. Copy, paste, right? So you can copy, paste it. And so you only have to do it one time. Let's see, here I could select this. Is it selected? Delete? Oh, I deleted the whole thing. Oh, poo. Okay, copy. Oh, goody. I tried to paste it somewhere else and it wrote like a dot. Super finicky. All right. Okay, paste. I'm trying to select it. It won't select. Edit. Ah, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to delete Tuesday. And now I have the Tuesday one. But my color and my rounded corner options and everything are saved because I copied the first box. That's something that you can do. Just copy the box. And then if you really like these, you could save them as an element, I think, right? Can you? No, since it's text, you can't save it as an element, apparently. But you can store them let's see. You can use a lasso and copy a bunch of them. In my planners, I always have a sticker page that I put this in the toolbar, the navigation bar. So this is a sticker page, and you can paste things right here. So here, my boxes, if I wanted to use this all the time, I could paste my boxes here, and then I'd be able to just lasso them in, paste them wherever I want. So there are tricks that you can do like this, even when the preset is not an option, where you can, save them somewhere anyway. All right. But I think this is actually the last, this is the last thing that I needed to show you. So we're gonna disconnect. All right. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Hello back, everyone. All right, so this class is pretty much over. We can chat for a few minutes here. If you have any question, ask them. And then that's going to be it for us today. All right, so let's see what you guys were saying. Victoria said you could always create a page in your planner with a bunch of different text box styles. Yes, exactly. That's some sort of what I was demonstrating here. All of your preferred, if you create a text box, you're like, wow, I really like this one, then you can create a page. Also, there are sticker books that exist. I know that Victoria and Veronica often offer sticker books with their CHQ kits. And sticker books are great to store your stickers, but also presets like this, right? If you create a text box that you really like and you're like, I think I'm going to be using this all the time, you can copy paste it. You can create a page into your sticker book that's like your text preset sticker page, right? And you can paste a bunch of text boxes that you like over there, and you can go get them from there. Lasso, copy, paste. There are a lot of little tricks like this that we can do to make using Goodnotes just more efficient for our planning. It's awesome. Caroline said that's a nice idea. Thank you. Trisha says, awesome information, Vanessa. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed this class. There is going to be a replay because I know that we covered a lot. Not all of this is going to be immediately useful to you. Maybe in 6 months, you're like, what did she say again about collections? So you're going to be able to rewatch this from the replay. You do have to be a CHQ member. However, you have the link in the chat right now, the little box. So you can join CHQ from there. Again, you can join as a free member and you can poke around, get the replays, get the community, and there's some freebies as well. But if you want to upgrade to a premium member, it's $27 a month, and you get like over $100, easily $150. I think since we added Victoria to the team, now it's easily over $150 worth of stuff every single month for just $27. So it's very economical, because I know for me, I used to go to all the shops and like buy everything every month, and I could rack up quite a bill. But since I've been on CHQ, whoa, I have an alarm here. Nope. Since I've been on CHQ, there's so much stuff every single month from the 5 different creators. It's in different styles, different colors, different themes. It's been enough stuff that I haven't bought more. So I've definitely saved money from being in CHQ. And I get more than enough that I don't need to buy anything more from other creators anymore. Victoria and JJ said, thank you. Thank you for coming. Wasn't this fun? I had a lot of fun. Rhonda says, lots of good information. Jody says, when using the microphone, say the word period, and it will put a period in your sentence. I didn't know that. That's great. Thank you, Jody. I just wonder if you're saying a sentence like, it's a period piece. Will it add a period, or will it write the word period? I wonder how they deal with such things. If they're able to differentiate, that it will be very impressive. Although, the word period doesn't come out all that often in casual sentences, so it might not be that big a problem. I wonder if it works also with commas and things like that, but I didn't know this. That's awesome. We learn every day. We learn every day. Betty says, great presentation. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Betty. Lisa, thank you for coming. Kathy and Stacy. Stacy said, these courses give me so much more confidence in doing planners. Oh, I'm so glad, Stacy. I can't wait to see what you do. Show us your spreads and stuff. Caroline says, can't wait to get the new stickers. Yeah, on top of the 2 sticker kits that I showed you, there's more. There's a notebook and there's a matching digital papers pack. So you're going to see all of this in my catalog. And there's also the 4 catalogs from the other creators as well. So in a couple of days, there's just an avalanche of stuff coming your way for every member of CHQ. I love that the first of every month, it's like Christmas for our members. Everyone is like, yay, new stuff. It's so fun. Caroline says, are we getting a new live soon? Next Saturday is Olivia's turn, and she's going to tell you all about productivity methods and basically the functional side of digital planning. I personally love the creativity, creation, decoration part of digital planning, but it is planning. We're doing it to plan our days, plan our weeks, be productive. So Olivia is going to teach you about different productivity methods, different ways of planning to increase your productivity and things like that. Jody says exclamation mark or whatever work too. And that's so nice. I didn't know. I love learning new tricks like this. Lisa said, I bought the planner you used today. Oh, thank you. I hope that you love it. Let me know what you think of it. And it is indeed quite a good pair with the new stickers. Also, I don't know if you've been with, I think you've been with CHQ for a while. My June set, you remember the ink brush set? There was also quite a bit of brown and craft paper textures in that set. So that set would also pair well, both with this planner and with my collection. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we've been here for 2 hours, so I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you so much for everyone who came, and thank you for staying to the end, even though it was quite a long lesson. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you. Oh, I just noticed that my kitty is sleeping up there soundly. Oh, isn't she adorable? Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I will see you next week. Olivia's teaching, but I'll be there, of course, to get her all of her teachings about productivity. I'll be there in the chat hanging out. And I will also be back in 2 weeks with my last class as well. So this is like a whole month-long event every Saturday for 4 weeks. This is week 2. Celine says, see ya. Caroline says, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for coming. Love you guys.